Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If you think the Second Amendment is more important than any of the leftist stuff that YouTube pushes, hit that subscribe button down below, like the video, and share the video. Let's continue to grow this channel. Let's continue to get the fresh, real truth news about the Second Amendment out there. It's going to take us to do it because the algorithm doesn't want it out there. So hit that subscribe button down below, and let's talk about a brief that was filed seeking an injunctive relief, a preliminary injunction against the newest assault weapon ban filed, and that's the one in Delaware. Delaware passed the newest version of the assault weapon ban in any of the states, and that's House Bill 450, and it does all of the things that every other assault weapon ban out there does. It bans anything with a scary attachment. It names a bunch of weapons by name, but what it doesn't do is follow the Constitution. They just threw out things like Heller, which says, if weapons are in common use, then you can't ban them. And it's definitely not following Bruin, which says that there's only one test: text, history, and tradition. If it's not in the text of the Second Amendment itself, then it must be in the history and tradition of firearms control in and around the time the Second Amendment was adopted, way back in 1791. And there were no assault weapon bans. There were no weapon bans, period. Yet, Delaware has put their toe in the ring. So the Second Amendment Foundation and Firearms Policy Coalition are going after them. This lawsuit is Gray et al. Versus Jennings, Kathy Jennings being the Attorney General of Delaware. I'll have this linked down below if you want to read this filing. But I'm going to bring you to the part where it says, 1, plaintiffs are likely to succeed on the merits of their Second and 14th Amendment claim. And we're going to start with the right to keep and bear arms. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution provides a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Incorporated against the states through the 14th Amendment, the Second Amendment guarantees an individual right to keep and bear arms, which is a fundamental constitutional right guaranteed to the people. Moreover, the Second Amendment extends prima facie to all instruments that constitute bearable arms. Indeed, the very enumeration of the right to keep and bear arms takes out of the hands of government, even the third branch of government, the power to decide on a case-by-case basis whether the right is really worth insisting upon. In its June 2022 decision in Bruin, the United States Supreme Court expressly rejected all interest balancing and the Third Circuit's prior two-step approach in the context of the Second Amendment claims. Heller and McDonald do not support applying means and scrutiny in the Second Amendment context. Instead, the government must affirmatively prove that its firearm regulation is part of the historical tradition that delimits the outer bounds of the right to keep and bear arms. Rather, Heller demands a test rooted in the Second Amendment's text as informed by history. Accordingly, the Delaware General Assembly's justification of HB 450 with claims that the General Assembly has a compelling interest to ensure the safety of Delawareans and that the banned arms, which are in common use, have no place in civilian life, are entitled to no deference. The plain text of the Second Amendment covers the conduct the plaintiffs wish to engage in, keep and bear arms, and the arms they wish to keep and bear because the Second Amendment extends, prima facie, to all instruments that constitute bearable arms. And when the Second Amendment's plain text covers an individual's conduct, the Constitution presumptively protects that conduct. To justify its regulation, the government must demonstrate that the regulation is consistent with the nation's tradition of firearms regulation. Heller has already established the relevant contours of the tradition. Bearable arms that are presumptively protected by the Second Amendment cannot be banned unless they are both dangerous and unusual. But arms that are in common use, such as those banned by Delaware, cannot be both dangerous and unusual. And to be sure, the Second Amendment's reference to arms does not apply only to those arms in existence in the 18th century. Just as the First Amendment protects modern forms of communication and the Fourth Amendment applies to modern forms of search, the Second Amendment extends prima facie to all instruments that constitute bearable arms, even those that were not in existence at the time of the founding. That is a fantastic start of a filing looking to get a preliminary injunction, and the rest of it goes on to explain other things that Delaware is doing by banning things that are in common use across the country. And this is a good filing. So this judge, it's in his ballpark right now. It's in his playground. The judge can rule on this at any time. So if you want to stay in the know, hit that subscribe button down below. I also want to say good job on Second Amendment Foundation and Firearms Policy Coalition joining up to tackle this this crazy infringement in Delaware. Guys and gals, support those that support you. If you're not a member of Second Amendment Foundation or Firearms Policy Coalition or anybody else that you think is a group worthy of your donations, rectify that now. It's Small Business Saturday and some of them are having sales right now. So check on that, join them, because we are members. We are the ones who are funding the efforts, so keep that in mind. Again, I want to say phenomenal job, SAF and FPC. Guys and gals, they're doing a hell of a job in several areas of the country. They need our support. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. That's what the Second Amendment is for, and that's in the text, history, and tradition. I'll see you on the next one, y'all. Take care.